One thing I do want to stress tonight is that this is about respect. Unfortunately, one of the things that has occurred over the last many years when it comes to this issue is divisiveness within our community.
We have been working to stop industrial development in our important bird area because of two important issues: migration and species at risk.
We observe annually between 500 and 750,000 birds of over 200 species. Our data confirms the density and numbers of birds that use this established migration route. Unfortunately, these facts are not reflected anywhere in the environmental assessment.
Wind turbines have reported to create dead zones as wildlife and other species vanish. Reports from U.S. Field and Wildlife back this up. They state that while wildlife might pass through areas surrounding turbines, they abandon habitat there, choosing to live as much as 10 miles away.
Our South Shore supports 3 kinds of alvar. In fact, the Crown lands at Ostrander support at least 17 threatened, endangered, and at-risk species. It's ludicrous for Gilead to say that they will move these turtles somewhere else. Well, how do you tell a 50-year-old turtle that it can no longer return? The U.S. Department of Agriculture stated last year that the killing of thousands of bats in North America by industrial wind turbines may be costing agriculture billions and increasing the use of chemical pesticides.
Gilead and their consultant Santec came up with areas that need to have regulated, there are regulated setbacks for. There are wetlands, woodlands, conservation species of concern, the rare vegetation, as Janice mentioned, the alvars, water bodies, woodland, and seasonal concentration areas. So in almost all of them, and the vast majority of things that require a setback, they're unable to meet it. I believe most of the people in Prince Edward County think it's the wrong place. The municipal council has listed their serious concerns that are demanding mitigation.
What we're looking at is something to look forward to. Rather than telling everybody what we don't want, we want to start saying, hey, this is what we'd rather see. You've heard how we need to protect the area, and we've got a plan on how we can do that. We currently have the sandbanks in the area, so we're looking at a slightly different type of tourism. The important part to emphasize here is that we're looking at creating a destination with relatively untouched by human intervention.
For all of this, the government will be handsomely paid by Gilead Power, and to enable our government to receive those large annual payments, extending over at least 25 years, if you take nothing else away tonight, just keep the thought that that may constitute a massive conflict of interest.
The Auditor General finds that the Chief Medical Officer of Health's report did not consider the indirect direct pathway for adverse health effects. Now let me tell you something. They said that it couldn't hurt your hearing through direct impact. They said that there wasn't a problem with ice throw and blade throw, although there is. The indirect health impacts which matter the most, that is that people who are exposed can't sleep, can't get to sleep, can't maintain sleep, can't have problems with concentration, become stressed, psychologically distressed, and those are risk factors for cardiovascular disease and for cancer. It's been argued that there isn't a problem with low frequency noise and infrasound, and that what you can't hear can't hurt you. A remarkable claim, because what you can't smell, what you can't taste, what you can't see can hurt you.
I live on the South Shore. I live, well, it's my backyard. And the question I have for you, Vic, is since really there is no case to be made for building these things, and there's a good reason not to build them, and it's public record, and an Auditor General's report that just recently came out, which damns the project, and the Ontario Federal Agriculture Farmer OFA has also panned the project, and it's going to cost the taxpayer a load of money. Why are they continuing to pursue this?
I think I have the answer for you, and it's the introductory paragraph to my speech. Will you wait for that? Yeah. Thank you.
The other thing I came across was something called the Significant Wildlife Habitat Technical Guide in the Ministry of Natural Resources website. And it said that migratory bird stopover areas, the optimal size had not been researched and discovered. And so all migratory stopover areas must be preserved in their entirety and not reduced in area. And that was particularly important within 5 kilometers of the Great Lakes, particularly Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. So that being the case, I'm wondering why Ostrander Point turbines are even being considered.
One thing that history teaches us is that to say that the end justifies the means has been used by Hitler, Stalin, and many other notable figures in history.
And I'm very put out tonight that I came here and I went to sign a petition. There's all these petitions for people that are against the windmills. I'm for the windmills.
Hey!
I would like to have somebody here.
Put them in your backyard.
We've got 96, I believe it is, windmills on Wolf Island. The only complaint I've ever heard was somebody over in Sodas Bay, New York, saying that the windmills are blocking the sun.
Wrong! We're from Hey!
Wrong.
Respect for everybody.
Why don't we talk about something close by? You're talking about ones that I don't know, but I've been down to Wolf Island, I've looked at them. They're close to farmhouses and everything else. The farmers don't seem to be complaining.
Try living there. It's hard.
It's likely the cottage people that are there for a few hours every
Four generations
that are complaining, but the people that are making the money and enjoy it or want those are quite happy with them, I think.
Not really.
Maybe somebody's got some input in it.
I live on Wolf Island, and this is also...
I'm Janet White, I live on Wolf Island.
And we both have experienced, you know, in our homes issues. I have a sleep deprivation. I haven't had a good night's sleep in my house for, I don't know, probably 3 years since the project went up. And
yeah, same here.
Same. There are a lot of people who are discontented with the whole, the way the process went, the way there was no input, public input. We tried, but we're basically ignored. We took our council to court. We're basically, you know, pushed over with promises of recreating habitat, putting money into organizations that help habitat, things like that. So, but mainly, I think I want to say is that it has been destructive for our community and destructive to a lot of people's lives. It's not an easy thing to live with at all. And there hasn't really been any kind of discussion about the emotional turmoil that one experiences when they feel that their homes are being threatened. And it starts there, the impact it has on human health. It is my job to take people to homes to show them where they're going to live. I deal in a lot of waterfront properties. When I'm asked to take someone to Wolf Island, I do so. I don't say anything, I take them there. The first thing people say when they walk into a home where there are turbines close by, when I say close by, I'm not saying 550 meters, we're talking 800 meters to 1.5 kilometers. The first thing they say when they walk in and out onto the deck is, oh my God, nothing could make me buy this property.